Okay, we are live.
श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वागीशाद्या सुमनसः सर्वार्थानाम् उपक्रमे यं नत्वा कृतकृत्या स्युः तं नमामि गजाननम् दोर्भिर्युक्ता चतुर्भिः स्फटिकमणिमयीम् अक्षमालां दधाना हस्तेनैकेन पद्मं सितमपि च शुकं पुस्तकं चापरेण भासा कुन्देन्दुशङ्खस्फटिकमणिनिभा भासमाना समाना सा मे वाग्देवतेयं निवसतु वदने सर्वदा सुप्रसन्ना श्रीरामसौमित्रिजटायुवेद षडाननादित्यकुजार्चिताय श्रीनीलकण्ठाय दयामयाय श्रीवैद्यनाथाय नमः शिवाय वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ वैदेही सहितं सुरद्रुमतले हैमे महामण्टपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने मणिमये वीरासने सुस्थितम् अग्रे वाचयति प्रभञ्जनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिभ्यः परं व्याख्यान्तं भरतादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलं बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनूमत्स्मरणात् भवेत् नमः पार्वतीपतये हर हर महादेव जानकीकान्तस्मरणं जय जय राम राम श्री जगदम्बिकायै जय जय. Today is the Aradhana day of Mahaprabhu. Those in the US, I think, have done the Aradhana celebrations already. Here in Srimatham, where I am speaking from, the first Kala Puja, the Ushak Kala Puja, Dhanurmasa Puja, 4 to 7, that was completed. And then all the 32 Brahmanas assembled in the main hall in front of Mahaprabhu Adhishtanam, and they have been given the due honors at the beginning. And they have left for Ekamreshwara temple, and they will come back soon to the accompaniment of Veda Ghosham. After that, the proceedings will start. And in the hall, Pancharatna Kirtanas will be done soon. Some more programs will be carried out. And by 12:30, the Brahmanas will assemble again for Tirtha Narayana Puja, which may go on up to 2 o'clock or so. This is essentially the program here. As all of us know, it's a great day for Srimatham. The great Acharya, 68th Acharya, Sri Mahaprabhu, attained the Siddhi on this day, on 8th of January, 1994. And there was a request that I should say a few words about this occasion. I don't know what to say really. I mean, everyone knows the greatness of Sri Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu's name is associated with Ramanama right from the beginning. When he assumed charge of the Peetham at the age of 13, he was not proficient in Vedas, Shastras, or even any serious learning of Sanskritam. Like any ordinary schoolboy, he knew only Ramanama. This is what he has himself said. And when he was taken to Kalavai in that cart, slowly the news was broken that he will be asked to assume some important position in Srimatham. And he was, as soon as this was told to him, and even before that, he was thinking he was going to meet the previous Acharya, which was not the case. The previous Acharya was in place only for a week. And he was himself his Purvashrama cousin. And when he was traveling in the car, he was uttering only Ramanama. Ram, 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 Ram. Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha. This is oft quoted by all the Acharyas of Srimatham. Veda Vedye Pare Pumsi Jate Dasharathatmaje Veda Pracheta Sadasi Sakshat Ramayanatmana. We saw at the beginning. This is the famous Jnana Shloka. When the Paramatma, who is the Pratipadya Vastu of Vedas, who is the Vastu who is shown by the Vedas, took the incarnation of Rama, Veda incarnated as Ramayana. This is what the shloka says. So, our Mahaparival was extremely keen that Vedas should be preserved, should be resuscitated, new shakas should be resuscitated. The knowledge of Vedas, particularly among Brahmanas, was at a very low at that point of time, and Mahaparival strove very hard to bring awareness of the necessity of Brahmana learning Veda. So he said at least one child from every Brahmana family should go to Gurukulam and study Veda. Well, this met with some success. A lot of Veda Patashalas came up, a lot of Adhyapakas came up, a lot of students started studying. And this tradition was amplified, grown in a much wider scale by the successive Acharyas, 69th and the current 70th Acharya. Now we have not only Vedas, Veda Bhashyam, which was at a nascent stage at Sri Mahaparival's time. Now we have a lot of Veda Bhashya Ratnams, a lot of people who have mastered Veda Bhashyam, a lot of people who have mastered Ghanam, which was again very few in Mahaparival's time. Now we have a lot of Ganapatis and so on. A lot of Veda Parayanams are taking place. Veda has grown deep roots in several places, in not only in Tamil Nadu, all over India. The great thing, great seed sown by Mahaparival has grown into a big tree. Well, this is only one aspect of his manifold contribution to our Sanatana Dharma. There we can go on and on and on. The very fact that we are now into Ramayanam is owing to Mahaparival's inspiration. Ramayanam always occupied a very significant place in Srimatham. Ramanami has been celebrated with great enthusiasm. Ramayana Parayanam has been always there in every Vishwashanti Homam, in every such great event. Ramanama Lekhanam was first started by Mahaparival. Notebooks were distributed free of cost. Children were asked to write Ramanama. Now, that has also grown into a big organization, on a big scale. A lot of people are now doing regularly this Ramanama Lekhanam and so on. So people are remembering Rama, the Tarakanama Rama. Rama's name is uttered by Shiva at Kashi during the last days, during the last moments of the Jiva who departs from this earth at Kashi. That is the greatness of Ramanama. This is what Mahaparival has taught us. So let us now try to get back to our study of Ramayana. We came up to the end of Aranya Kandam yesterday. Sita was taken away by Ravana. Rama and Lakshmana meet Jatayu, or informed by Jatayu that Ravana has kidnapped Sita. Jatayu, some Agni Samskara, with great honors was done by Rama himself. And then they proceeded to Shabari's ashrama. Shabari was granted moksha. And then they are going towards the place where Sugriva was staying, as instructed, as indicated by Viradha, the Rakshasa who died. Now, Kishkinda Kandam we are entering into. This is where we are going to, a lot of activity in search of Sita is going to start. And Kishkinda Kandam starts again, like Aranya Kandam, with a tremendous description of the nature's beauty. Only difference is Aranyakandam, when it started with description of nature's beauty, it was in a pleasant atmosphere. Rama and Sita and Lakshmana were together and they were enjoying the forest scenes, forest experiences. But here, being separated from Sita, Rama and Lakshmana were in a state of deep grief, and that is how it starts. Now, the Malaya Marutam, the scent of sandalwood from the Malaya mountains, instead of giving a pleasing experience, was kindling the grief, was accentuating the grief of Rama. It was Chaitra month, Vasanta Ritu, very beautiful season, flowering season. And Rama was losing all his strength of mind. He became mentally weak. He started wailing. He said, what is the use? My Sita is not with me. And so on. And Lakshmana pacified him, gave him courage. He said, Utsaho balavanarya nastyutsahat parambalam. There is nothing more strong than enthusiasm. So sahasya lokeshu lakinchidapi durlabham. If you follow the path of enthusiasm, if you adopt enthusiasm, nothing is difficult to achieve. So he was instilling courage in Rama. And as they were walking, they were nearing the Rishabhuka mountain where Sugriva was staying on top. Now, we have seen before that Sugriva was staying on Rishabhuka mountain because he was afraid of Vali, and the Rishabhuka mountain was inaccessible to Vali, just as Meru mountain is inaccessible to Asuras. So, whenever there is a Devasura war, and Asuras displace Devas from Swarga, from Amaravati, they run away and take shelter in the caves of Meru mountain, Sumeru mountain, because that is one place where they are safe, where Asuras and Rakshasas have no access. So similarly, here Rishnamukha mountain is one place where Sugriva was feeling safe because Vali cannot access that place. Now from the top of that mountain, they see these Rama and Lakshmana. They are overcome by surprise as well as by a strange feeling of wonder, because they are wearing the garb of a tapasvi and they are carrying bow and arrow. They look very much like Kshatriya kings, but they are appearing like tapasvis. So this contrast, they could not understand. So they were worried. Sugriva was worried that maybe Vali has sent some people in this guise to trouble him. But then Hanuman told Sugriva, Hanuman was the minister for Sugriva. Hanuman told Sugriva that they cannot anyway come up to this hill. So there is no fear of Vali in Rishabhuka Parvata. Buddhi Vijnana Sampanna Ingite Sarvamachara Naksha Buddhim Gato Raja Sarva Bhutani Chastihi. Use your intellect. Hanuman advises Sugriva. Use your intellect. Nothing can happen to us as long as we are here. Then Sugriva asked Hanuman to go down and meet these people anyway. Go and meet them and find out who they are. But be cautious. Adopt caution. So Hanuman takes the form of a bhikshu and goes and meets Rama and Lakshmana. The first time Hanuman comes into the picture. Hanuman asks Rama and Lakshmana, "Who are you? You look like valiant warriors, but you are in the costume, you are in the appearance of a tapasvi. Your bows and arrows are shining. You look very valorous. You look radiant. Are you from Devaloka? Are you Surya and Chandra? Who are you? सर्वभूषणभूषार्हाः किमर्थं न विभूषिताः उभौ योग्यावहं मन्ये रक्षितुं पृथिवीं यमाम्. I feel you are capable of protecting the entire earth. Rakshitum Prithivim Imam. Just by looking at them, Hanuman comes to this conclusion. Then what should be their appearance? What should have been the appearance of Rama and Lakshmana to make Hanuman say such words? Sasagaravanam Krishnam Vindhyameru Vibhushitam. Then he introduces himself. After asking these questions, he didn't get any reply. So he then introduces himself. He says, Sugriva is the Vanara king here and I am his minister. I am the son of Vayu. I am Vayu Putra. I am talking so much. Why you people are not speaking? He concludes. Then Rama tells Lakshmana beautiful slokas in praise of Hanuman. First time he has heard a few slokas being uttered by Hanuman and he has measured Hanuman's qualities. And Hanuman's qualities are being described in glorious terms in a few slokas. Best of slokas of Valmiki coming from Rama. Na Rigveda Vinitasya, na Yajurveda Dharinaha, na Samaveda Vidushaha, Shakyamevam Vibhashitam. If one has not mastered Rigveda, Yajurveda, and Samaveda, he could not have talked like this. This is the first sentence, first sloka. How did he conclude that Hanuman has mastered all the three Vedas? Because the way he spoke betrayed his knowledge of Vedas, showed his knowledge of Vedas. Because Rigveda refers to comprehensive approach, comprehensive speech. That is where all the devas are worshipped. Yajurveda goes for orderly speech. Because Yajurveda prescribes how a yajna should be done, how various rituals should be done, step by step. What are the mantras to be chanted? What are the tantras to be enacted? That is all in Yajurveda. So Rigveda is for comprehensive approach. Yajurveda is for codified speech, orderly speech. And Samaveda is for sweetness. It may be codified, it may be orderly, it may be comprehensive, but it may not be sweet to the ears. Then no use. Musical. So sweet speech. So all the three features are there in Hanuman's few slokas which he uttered. That is what. Now next he is paying the next tribute to Hanuman. Nonam Vyakaranam Krishnam Anena Bahudha Shrutam. He has mastered Vyakarana also because there is not a single mistake. There is no grammar mistake in what he spoke. Avistaram asandigdham avilambitam avyayam uratham kanthagam vakyam vartate madhyamaswaram. Look at the heap, the praise which he heaps. He says, Avistaram asandigdham. There is no scope for doubt. And it is not very elaborate. Avistaram, avilambitam. There is no delay, no halted speech. Avyatham. There was no effort made in speaking. He speaks anayasa. Urastham kanthagam vakyam. His speech comes from properly from the throat. In madhyama swara, middle swara. Neither too loud nor too low. संस्कार क्रम संपन्नाम अद्भुताम अविलंबिताम उच्चारयति कल्याणीम वाचम हृदय हर्षिणीम. वाचम हृदय हर्षिणीम. His speech entices my heart, attracts my heart. Samskara krama sampanna. How one should speak. We should learn from Hanuman. एवं विधो यस्य दूतो न भवेत् पार्थिवस्य तु सिद्ध्यन्ति हि कथं तस्य कार्याणां गतयो नघ. If such a messenger is available to a king, how can his missions fail? His missions can never fail with a emissary like this. एवं गुणगणैर्युक्ता यस्य कार्यसाधकाः तस्य सिद्ध्यन्ति सर्वेऽर्था दूतवाक्य प्रचोदिताः. The emphasis of the previous sloka. Message carried by this kind of emissary has to bear fruit. There is no question. Then, in answer to Hanuman's queries, Rama asks Lakshmana to give the suitable answer. Lakshmana tells Hanuman about what Kabanda had said about Sugriva's friendship. He introduces Rama and Lakshmana as the sons of Dasharatha, exiled into the forest and so on. How Sita has been taken away by Ravana, all that he says. Then Hanuman described Vali's story, the story of Vali. And then he took Vanara form now. From Bhikshu form, he changed it to Vanara form, right in front of Rama and Lakshmana. He carried Rama and Lakshmana on his shoulders and went up the hill, took them to Sugriva, and told the king all the details. Sugriva immediately, he didn't lose any time, immediately he asked for Rama's friendship. Now that Vali's story has been told to you, you must help me in getting rid of Vali and restoring the kingdom to me. This is what Sugriva says. And Rama agrees. And with Agni as witness, Agni Sakshi, they go around the Agni, Rama and Sugriva. They pledge their friendship. Now, Rama has made a promise this way to kill Vali. Now, at this time, when he made this promise, what happens? Beautiful description of Valmiki. He says, the left eyes of Sita, Vali, and Rakshasas throbbed at the same time. If left eye of a woman throbs, Sita, that means good for her. If left eye of Vali and Rakshasas throb, who are men, it bodes evil for them. So, same left eye, throbbing for Sita and throbbing for Vali and Rakshasas, means different things. Now, Sugriva in turn promised to Rama that he will make all efforts to locate Sita. He said, of course, in bravado, he said, even if she were in Patala, I will go and get her. Then Sugriva recounted how he saw a woman being carried in the air by a Rakshasa. He didn't know it was Sita and Ravana. He only saw a woman being carried by a Rakshasa, abducted by a Rakshasa. And she was crying all the while, Ha Rama, Ha Lakshmana, in a low tone. And she dropped certain ornaments tied in a piece of cloth, torn from the sari. As soon as Rama heard this, he said, Ha Priye, and dropped down. He could not bear the grief. He dropped down in great grief. And then Rama asked Sugriva to bring those ornaments. Ornaments are brought, but because of the tears in Rama's eyes, his vision was not there. He could not see, clouded by tears. And he asked Sugriva to show the ornaments to Lakshmana. And he asked Lakshmana to identify whether they were indeed Sita's. Here comes a beautiful sloka from Valmiki, very oft-quoted. Naham janami keyure, naham janami kundale, nupure tvabhijanami, nityam padabhivandanat. Because there are different ornaments in that pack. There are keyura, which is the armlet, worn on the arm, kundala, worn on the ears. He says, the ornaments worn on the ears, worn on the arms, I cannot identify because I have never seen Sita's face. Face to face, I have never met her. But I can identify her nopuras, her anklets, which are worn on the ankles. Because Nityam Padabhivandanate, because daily I worship at her feet. So I have seen the nopuras. So these nopuras belong to Sita. I can confirm that. Nupure Tvabijanami Nityam Padabhivandanate. This shows the way brothers and their consorts were behaving in olden days in Ramayana time. Lakshmana's statement bears witness to that situation prevailing at that time. Next day morning, Sugriva got up and recounted, though Hanuman had mentioned briefly, recounted Wali's story in great detail, how Wali had fought with Danava called Mayavi, and that Danava had gone inside a cave, and Wali followed him. For 1 year, he did not come out of the cave. And at the end of the day, he found a lot of blood coming out of the cave. So he thought Wali had been killed. He closed the cave with a big stone so that the Rakshasa Mayavi does not come out. Wali must have been killed. This was his conjecture. And he became king. Then Wali, with great difficulty, pushed the stone after some time and then came out, and then he exiled Sugriva because he misunderstood Sugriva. He thought Sugriva wanted to capture the kingdom. So he exiled him and he fought with him. At the end, Sugriva retired to this Rishyamukha forest. This briefly the story. Now, on top of that, when Sugriva ran away and took shelter in Rishyamukha mountain, he went with a few trusted people. One of them was Hanuman, was the minister, and a few other Vanaras were with trusted Vanaras were with Sugriva. But Sugriva's own wife, Ruma, was abducted by Wali, and he kept her with him. This was the great grouse for Sugriva. Not only he lost the kingdom, he lost his wife also. So when he narrated all this, he said, I want Wali to be killed at your hands. I cannot kill Wali. I have no strength. Wali is such a powerful man. Powerful. So now I want to test your strength, he told Rama. Whether you can indeed kill Wali. Well, I am meeting you for the first time. Nakhalvaham tvam tulaye navamanyena bhishaye karmadistasya bhimesya kataryam janitam mama. Don't misunderstand me. I am not underestimating your prowess. But my fear of Wali is so great. So you have to assure me. You have to assure me by demonstrating your strength. What should I do to demonstrate? Rama asked. He said, these are the remains, skeletons of a Rakshasa called Dundubi, who was killed by Wali. Now, if you can kick these remains and displace them by a short distance, then I can understand you are strong, physically strong. Similarly, Wali used to make holes in a series of salt trees by dispatching one arrow. At least you use one arrow and at least make a hole at least in one salt tree and show me your strength. Now, first the Dundubi remains test was done. Instead of short distance, by kicking those remains, Rama sent them over a distance of 10 yojanas. Sugriva was greatly stunned, but he was still not convinced. He said, these remains are very old. They have become very weak, fragile. That is why perhaps you have been able to throw it, kick over such a long distance. Now, let us see your solitary performance. Now, Rama dispatched an arrow at the salt tree. Instead of making a hole in one salt tree, He, in a series of 7 salt trees, successively the holes were made in series of 7 salt trees, and then the arrow went down to Patala and then came back to Rama's quiver. All this happened in front of Sugriva. So Sugriva was extremely happy. He prostrated to Rama. Don't, please don't misunderstand my test, asking you to show your strength. So immediately it was decided to encounter Wali. So Sugriva went to Kishkinda, called Wali for a fight, and the fight started. But Rama did not kill him because both looked alike, Wali and Sugriva. By sending an arrow, he may kill the wrong person. Instead of killing Wali, he may kill Sugriva. That was so. Sugriva ran away ultimately and took shelter in Rishyamukha mountain, and then he questioned Rama, why did you not kill Wali? At that time, he gave this explanation. So next time he said, we will do like this. We will put a garland on your neck so that I can identify you with the garland. So you go and call Wali again for a fight. So he goes and calls Wali in the city of Kishkinda. Kishkinda city was the capital of the Vanara kingdom, where Wali is living in splendor in a palace. His wife's name is Tara. Now, Sugriva calls Wali for fight for a second time. Tara dissuades Wali. If he calls you for a second time, that means he has got additional strength. He has mobilized additional resources. Rama Parabala Mardi Yugantagnirivotthitaha Nivasa Vriksha Sadhunam Apannanam Paragatihi. Now Tara talks about Rama and Lakshmana, about the qualities of how Rama gives shelter to all good people. Nivasa Vriksha, he is like a Kalpaka tree for sadhus, for virtuous people. Apannanam Paragatihi, Parat Balamardi, very strong. Artharam samshrayashcheva shasachekabhajanam jnana vijnana sampanno nideshena ratapituhu. In order to keep his father's word, he is in the forest. All this Tara knows. Don't fight with Rama. It is not good for you. Make peace with Sugriva. Make him Yuvaraja. This is what Tara advised Wali. Wali did not listen. He said, Rama will not come and fight with me because I have no enmity with Rama. My enmity is with only Sugriva. He will not unnecessarily involve himself in this combat. न च कार्यो विषादस्ते राघवं प्रतिमत्कृते धर्मज्ञश्च कृतज्ञश्च कथं पापं करिष्यति. He is dharmajna, he is kritajna, he knows what should be done. How he will commit such a sin? So he went and started his fight with Sugriva, and it went on and on for some time. Then Sugriva was getting weaker and weaker, and he was about to lose. At that time, Rama sent an arrow straight at Wali's chest, but from hiding. Wali never knew that Rama was there. Rama was hiding, and then Rama sent the arrow. Tadastram tasya veerasya swargamarga prabhavanam Rama banasana kshiptam avahat paramam gatim. That never failing arrow dispatched Wali to Swarga and to higher lokas. That was the efficiency of Ramabana. Now it was Wali's turn. As he was about to lose his life, it was Wali's turn to chide Rama. He said, Arey, I never knew that you were such a coward that you will strike me from hiding. I thought you will come face to face if at all you wanted to fight with me. Damashamaha Kshamadharmo Dhritis Satyam Parakramaha Parthivanam Gudarajan Dandaschapyapakarishu. These are the qualities of good kings. I don't find these qualities in you. भूमिर्हिरण्यं रूपं च विग्रहे कारणानि च तत्र कस्ते वने लोभो मदीयेषु फलेषु वा. Normally, such fights ensue because of avarice for land, avarice for gold, avarice for getting somebody like a woman. or for creating a split among friends. Some such reason should be there. There was no such reason, cause for enmity between you and me. Rajaha, Brahmaha, Gognaha, Chora, Pranivadherataha, Nastika, Pariveta, Sarve, Nirayagamanaha. He is talking about Dharma now. He is saying one who kills a king because only the king, killer of a king, will go to Naraka. Killer of king, killer of a Brahmana, killer of a cow, a thief, Pranivadherataha, killer of animals. These Nastikaha, one who denies the existence of Vedas. That is the definition of Nastika. Nastika does not mean denying existence of Bhagavan. No. Nastika means denying existence of Vedas. This is the subtle point in Shastra. Nastikaha parivetta cha sarve niregaminaha. All these people will go to Naraka. If you had fought straight with me, you would have died. That is why you have adopted this, and then now this is infamous for you. I thought greatly. I had heard good things about you, but now, if you wanted Sita to be restored to you, I would have fought Ravana myself. I would have brought Ravana in front of you by tying him with a rope. Rama listened to all this patiently, and then he gave his counsel to the dying Vali. He said, he gave a fairly detailed explanation of why he acted the way he acted. He said, he started like this: you have not learnt dharma from proper acharyas. You are quoting dharma, but you have not learnt it properly. We are here as representatives of Emperor Bharata. Bharata is our king, and we are here as his representatives. You have committed adharma. You have coveted your younger brother's wife, and that is good enough reason for the king to give you death sentence. Coveting younger brother's wife is a sin which calls for death sentence, and as I am the representative of the king, King Bharata, I am entitled to give you death sentence. For giving death sentence, there is no question of fighting in front of you. So I have given you death sentence. Tadetat karanam pashye yadartham tam maya hataha bhraturvartati bharyayam tattva dharmam sanatanam yaviyan atmana putraha shishyaschapi gunoditaha putravattai sreshtantya dharmaschaiva karanam. Three people should be treated as own sons. First is own son, second is younger brother, third is disciple, Shishya. These three should be treated as own sons, and then their wives should be treated as sons' wives, daughter-in-law. So how can you covet your own daughter-in-law? Nachate varshaye papam kshatriyoham kulodgataha auratim bhaginim vapi bharyam vyapmanujasyaha prachadetanarakama tasya dando vadasmrataha aurasim bhaginim vapi bharyam vapmanujasyaha. One who covets a sister, one who covets a daughter, all this is told by Rama. One who covets a daughter, one who covets a sister, one who covets a brother's wife, they are all to be given death sentence. Tasya dando vadasmrataha. That is what I have done. Now, further, I am friend of Sugriva. Sugriva has sought my friendship, and I have given my word to him. He is now like my brother, like Lakshmana to me. And on his behalf, I have given you punishment because he has complained to the representative of the king. I am the representative of the king. He has complained to me, and I have given you punishment. Where is the question of adharma here? My forefather, Mandhata, he comes in the Solar dynasty before, much before Rama. He also meted out such a punishment to a Shramana for the same sin. Now, this reason is good enough. Now I will give you one more reason. After all, you are a Vanara. Kshatriyas have got a right to hunt in the forest, hunt animals. So, you cannot find fault with a Kshatriya hunting an animal. While hunting, there is no question of fighting from the front. That's what I have done. Now, तान् न हिंस्यान् न च क्रोशान् नाक्षिपे नाप्रियं वदेत् देवा मानुषरूपेण चरन्ते ते महीतले. Devas are there as in the form of humans, in the form of kings. So I am following the dictum of Manu, which is laid down for the king. As a king's representative, I have done the right thing. Vali got convinced with this answer. He asked Rama for pardon for the harsh words he had used. He said, it is good that I am dying at your hands because now I am going to get Swarga. Now, please protect Angada, my son, and Sugriva, my brother. And please see that Sugriva does not neglect Tara, my wife. Now, Rama said, as you have been punished, Manusmriti says, anyone who commits a crime and if he gets proper punishment at the hands of the king on earth, that sin is washed away, he will go to Swarga. This is what Manusmriti says. Now, that is what has happened with you. So, you will attain Divya Loka now. About Angada, don't worry. I will take care of him. He will continue to be the same as he is now. Now Tara wailed and wept, and she also charged Rama with the same charge which Wali had mentioned earlier. And now it was Hanuman's turn to go and console Tara. Birth and death are not in our hands, and so on. Wali handed his golden necklace, his insignia, to Sugriva, asked him to forget old enmity and protect Angada. And Wali also advised Angada. He said, नचाति प्रणयकार्यः कर्तव्यो प्रणयिष्यते उभयं हि महान् दोषः तस्मात् अन्तर्दृग्भव. Do not develop too much attachment to anything. Do not develop hatred towards anything. Always adopt a mean approach, middle approach. Ubhayam hi mahan doshaha tasmat antaradrigbhava. Adopt a middle approach, is what he told Angada. Now it was now Sugriva's turn to wail, cry. He said, unnecessarily I have killed my brother. For what reason did I kill him? He went on crying and crying. He said, I will enter fire now. Now Rama consoled Sugriva as well as Tara. He said, nothing happens without Bhagavan's wish, without destiny's intervention. It is destiny which decides such events. नियति कारणं लोके रेति कर्म साधनं न मित्रज्ञाति संबंधः कारणं नात्मनो वशः. Now Sugriva was asked by Rama to perform the Antyeshti of Vali with due respect, due to the king. Dhanams were given, everything was done properly. Then Sugriva was to be coronated as king. Hanuman asked Rama to come inside the Kishkinda city and coronate. Then Rama said, no, I cannot come inside a city or even a village. I have to live in the forest as per the terms of my exile. चतुर्दश समास सौम्ये ग्रामं वा यदि वा पुरं न प्रवेक्ष्यामि हनुमन् पितुर्निदेशपालकः न प्रवेक्ष्यामि हनुमन्. Oh Hanuman, I cannot enter any city or any village. So I shall stay in this cave in the Prashravana hills along with Lakshmana. You go and coronate Sugriva. Now it is rainy season. Let the rainy season be over, and then in the meantime, you make your plans, make your attempts to locate Sita. This is what he advised Hanuman and Sugriva. So Rama and Lakshmana retired to the Prashravana hill, and now again there is a bout of description of bounty of nature. Tungabhadra river, Kishkinda city, the waterfalls, the dance of peacocks, the clouds playing hide and seek, the elephants, trumpeting, the buzzing of the bees, everything is beautifully described. Some of the shlokas, many of the shlokas are beautiful, sonorous. Matta Gajendraha, Mudita Gabendraha, Vaneshu Vikranta Tara Mrigendraha, Ramyana Gendraha, Nibrita Narendraha, Prakridito Varidare Surendraha, such shlokas. मासि प्रौष्ठपदे ब्रह्म ब्राह्मणानां विवक्षताम् अयम् अध्याय समयः सामगानाम् उपस्थितः. Now the month of Praushtapada comes. Bhadrapada or Praushtapada, Puratash. That is the time when Samavedis do their Upakarma. This Avaniya is not for Samavedis. Now that is mentioned in Ramayana at this point of time. Avaniya is only for Yajurvedis, and Rigvedis also more or less at the same time, 1 or 2 days before. Whereas Samavedis, it comes in Hasta Nakshatra in the month of Praushtapada. Praushtapadyam Hastarksham. This is the Sankalpa. The month of Praushtapada is the star of Hasta. That is the definition of requirement of Sama Upakarma. That is what is mentioned here nicely. Masi Praushthapade Brahma Brahmananam Vivakshatam Ayam Adhyaya Samaha. This is the time to start learning. Samaganam Upasthitaha for Samavedis. Now, Sugriva was coronated and Sugriva was lost in mundane pleasures of the kingdom. Hanuman was worried. He is not attending to royal duties. He is not making any efforts to find Sita. So he goes and chides Sugriva. Then Sugriva wakes up. Then he asks Neela, one of his Vanaras, to gather all Vanara army from all places on earth. Vanara army distributed over long distances. Bring all of them here. In association with Angada, you make suitable parties and go and bring them. And you announce that any Vanara who comes after 15 days will be put to death. They should come here before 15 days. At this time, Varsha Ritu was over, Sharad Ritu started, autumn. Now, Rama and Lakshmana are in the cave in the Prasravana hill and they don't know what is happening. They have not been told anything. So there is no message from Sugriva. So they conclude that Sugriva has done nothing. Rama is greatly disappointed and angry. He tells Lakshmana, go and talk to Sugriva. Iyam sa prathama yatra parthivanam tripatmaja na cha pashyami Sugrivam udyogam cha tathavidam. This is the first time I am seeing a king behave like this. Priya vihine dukkharte hritarajye nivasite kripam na kurte raja Sugrivo mayi Lakshmana. So go and threaten Sugriva. Tell him that Ankuchita Pantha Yenavali Hatogataha, the route by which Wali was killed is still open. That means you are also subject to the same risk. So behave yourself. This is what you go and tell Sugriva. Samayetishta Sugriva, Mahavali Pathamangaganvagaha. Don't follow the path of Wali. Lakshmana, in fact, wanted to kill Sugriva immediately, but Rama asked him to adopt attitude of conciliation. Then Lakshmana goes to Kishkinda city, very furious. And Angada saw him. Then Angada was very much worried. He goes and tells Sugriva in the inner apartments, Lakshmana is extremely angry, he has come. Then what Sugriva did, he sent Tara, he was very clever. He sent Tara to meet Hanuman. Because Tara is a woman that too a widow of Vali. So Lakshmana will become soft. Once he becomes soft, I will go and meet him. This was his plan. Mirtham Hartha Guna Shreshtam Satyadharma Parayanam Tadvayam Tavarityatam Nadadharme Vyavasthitam. But Lakshmana spoke harsh words even to Tara. Though he showed whatever respect due to Tara, due to a woman. But he used harsh words. He said, your Sugriva has not kept his word, kept his commitment. Natu dharme vyavasthitam. He is not established in dharma. Tara said, no, no, no. Sugriva has got Ruma after a long time. He is lost in sense pleasures. But don't worry, he has got crores of vanaras already. He has made arrangement through Neela. Crores of vanaras have come already. Moreover, why are you standing outside? Don't worry about coming inside inner apartments. You are greatly virtuous man. I know about you. So you can come inside, even if it is women's apartments. Tada viksha mahabaho charitram rakshitam taja achalam mitra bhavena satam dharavalokanam. You can look at your friends' wives, nothing wrong. You are a man of great sterling character. Now, saying like this, Tara wanted to please Lakshmana. So she took Lakshmana inside. And Lakshmana saw Sugriva in embrace with Ruma. He became extremely angry. And this is what he threatened Sugriva. Shatam ashvanrite hanti sahasram tu gavanrite atmanam sajanam hanti purushanrite. Now he's talking about breaking promise. You tell somebody, you promise somebody that you will give a horse and then you don't give a horse, then you incur the sin of killing 100 horses, not giving one horse as promised. You are incurring the sin of killing 100 horses. Similarly, you promise to give a cow, you don't give a cow, you incur the sin of killing 1,000 cows. Satam ashvanrite hanti sahasram tu gavanrite atmanam swajanam hanti purushanrite. Similarly, you tell a lie about a person, about a man, then it is equal to killing yourself and his and your near ones. Atmanam swajanam hanti. It is like killing yourself and your near and dear ones. That is what Sugriva is doing. Then he goes on in this line, some more slokas. Then Tara intervenes and says, no, 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 Sugriva is not of that type. He is not a liar. He will sacrifice the kingdom, including Ruma, his wife, including me, including Angada, for the sake of Rama, because he has promised with Agni as Sakshi. He is not like this. He is not like what you are describing. There are more than 1 lakh crore of Rakshasas in Lanka. Sugriva has arranged for crores of Vanaras in order to fight them. And some lakhs of Vanaras have already come here. Then now Sugriva starts speaking. He says, I can never repay the debt of Rama. Why are you suspecting me? Do you think I am so useless that I will not keep my word which was given to Rama with Agni as Sakshi? No, no, I am not like that. I know that Rama does not need my help. Rama can handle this himself. He can go and kill Ravana and retrieve Sita. This is an opportunity given to me as a friend, and I will definitely rise to the occasion. He says all these things. Now, hearing all this and hearing that he has already made some preparation, Lakshmana feels relieved. Then he takes Sugriva to Rama. Rama also initially taunts Sugriva that being ungrateful is a heinous sin, etc. Then Sugriva again tells him crores of honors have already come, more are on the way. Rama praised his good plans. Then Sugriva instructed Vanaras to proceed in 4 groups in 4 directions. All the Vanaras which had assembled, some more Vanaras might join. Now he has divided them into 4 groups in 4 directions, east, west, north, and south. He appoints one Vanara as the leader in each group, and he tells them how to proceed in that particular direction. The topography which he describes is to be read, to be believed. He is so familiar with the territory in all directions. that at the end of this speech, Rama is obliged to ask Sugriva, "Arey, how is it that you know so much about topography in entire earth? Small caves, small hills, small kingdoms, rishis who are present there, everything is describing. Be careful with this, be careful with that. Don't get entangled in this, don't get entangled in that." He's telling all things. So then Sugriva says, beautifully, Sugriva says, "I have run physically all over the earth because Wali was chasing me. He wanted to attack me. And I was running, running, running. Finally, I found this Rishyamukha hill as shelter. So till that time, since I was running for life, I have seen all of earth. I do remember, he said. This was the reply given. So for east direction, a wanderer called Vinata was sent. He was told to cross 7 oceans and search. South direction, Hanuman, Nila, Jambavan with Angada as leader. There, Sugriva told about Agastya, about Mahendra Parvata, about Lanka, and if necessary, go beyond Lanka, up to Pitraloka. Sushena was in charge of the western direction. He was the father of Tara. He was the leader of that group. He was supposed to go up to Meru and up to Astachalam, the hill of setting sun. Then, north, when Shatabali was made in charge, he was supposed to go to Himachala, Krauncha, Kailasa, up to Somagiri. Now, the party which was dispatched southwards was given special instructions by Sugriva. Sugriva called Hanuman and gave and praised his knowledge, his cleverness, and he gave special instruction: be very careful, somehow find Sita. Because Sugriva knew, heart of hearts, that Ravana, because Ravana's name has come already from Jatayu. So Ravana is the king of Lanka. So, and he also saw a Rakshasa carrying a woman going southwards. So southward is the most plausible direction. So Hanuman, being the most efficient, was given the task. Now Rama noted all this. He praises Hanuman. Already he has praised once. Now he is praising Hanuman second time. व्यवसायिष्यते वीर सत्त्वयुक्तश्च विक्रमः सुग्रीवस्य च सन्देशः सिद्धिं कथयतीव मे. By looking at you and the way Sugriva has spoken to you, I feel as if my task is already accomplished. Siddhim kathayativa me. ददौ तस्य ततः प्रीतः स्वनाङ्कोपशोभितम् अङ्गुलीयम् अभिज्ञानम् राजपुत्र्याः परन्तपः. He gives his anguliyam, his ring, as a identification of Rama. Go and hand over the ring to Sita whenever you meet her. अनेन त्वां हरिश्रेष्ठ चिह्नेन जनकात्मजा मत्सकाशात् अनुप्राप्तम् अनुद्विग्नेन अनुपश्यति. Once you hand over this, Sita will identify you as my emissary and she will speak to you without doubting you. And Rama praises Hanuman. He says, I am depending on you. I am depending on your strength. Now, all Vanaras roared in approval. And the Vanaras start on their mission. Those who went northwards, eastwards, and westwards, all parties were given 1 month's time. They returned within 1 month unsuccessfully. We will not go into unnecessary details. The party which went southwards took more than a month, they did not return. Within 1 month, they were supposed to return. If they don't return within 1 month, they will be put to death. This is what Sugriva had told. Now, they did not return within 1 month. Why? Because they were caught in a magical cave called Rikshabilam, full of magic. So they lost time there. Then they decided to end their lives, including Hanuman, everybody. Then finally they said, no. At that time, Sampati came, Jatayu's brother. because these people were talking among themselves about Rama, about Jatayu and so on. Hearing the name of Jatayu, his own brother, Sampati came and talked to these Vanaras. They had assembled on the southern seashore, these Vanaras. So Sampati said, I know Ravana has kidnapped Sita and he has taken her to Lanka. I have seen, because I have eagle's eyes. Even at my old age, I can see the long distance. 100 yojana distance is Lanka, but I can see. Then Vanaras informed about Jatayu's death. Sampati was overcome by grief. Then he did Udakadanam and seashore. As they were talking, Sampati's wings grew back. His wings had been burnt down by sun in another earlier development. Now, as per the boon of a rishi, as soon as Ramakarya comes in, where Sampati will be of some help, his wings will grow again. Now, Sampati confirmed that you have to go to Lanka. That is the only place where you will find Sita. Sampati had confirmed it. Now, who will cross the ocean? 100 yojanas. That was the problem now. So Angada, being the leader, held a meeting of all Vanaras. How much distance you can cross? Somebody said 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Angada himself said, I can cross 100 and reach Lanka, but I will not have the strength to come back. Crossing another 100 yojanas in return journey is not possible for me. Then what is the use of going there? Then there was a stalemate. They didn't know how to proceed further. Then they thought their mission has failed. They have to end their lives. Instead of going back to Sugriva and meeting death at his hands, better to do Prayopavesha and die here, Upavasa. Then Jambavan, he remembered Hanuman's strength. He went to Hanuman. He said, because of the curse of certain rishis at a young age, you have forgotten your strength. Because of the curse of rishis at a young age, you have forgotten your strength. Now is the time to remember your strength. Now you should help us. Uttishta Harishardula Lankayasva Maharnavam Parahi Sarva Bhutanam Hanumanyagatistavat Vishadna Harayat Sarve Hanuman Kimupekshate Vikramasva Mahavega Vishnu Strin Vikramani Ved Vishnu who Trin Vikramani Ved, like Vishnu who in 3 steps measured everything, measured the earth, measured the upper regions, and 3rd step he put on the head of Bali. That is why we always say, Idam Vishnur Vichakrame Tredha Nidade Padam. Tredha Nidade Padam. He kept his foot in 3 places, 3 times. So, similarly, you have that strength like Vishnu, you can easily cross Vikramasva Mahavega with great speed. You can cross this ocean. Don't ignore my request. You have the capability of snatching Amrita from Brahma, from Indra. He praises Hanuman's strength. You can uproot Lanka if you want and bring it here along with Ravana. Amoga Shapa Shapastu Dattosya Muni Vipura Naveta Hivalam Sarvam Bali Sannarimardana. Because of the old curse of Rishis, you are not responding to me now. Now try to remember. Suddenly Hanuman remembered, and then Hanuman was full of vigor and strength. The moment Jambavan said, because the Rishi's curse also had stated that the curse will go when he is reminded of his strength by a suitable person at a suitable time. Now, this is what happened. Now, immediately Hanuman said, no, I will go. No question. Then the remaining wanderers said, we will wait for you. Standing on one leg, we will wait for your arrival. Then Hanuman went up the Mahendra Parvata peak, and he was mentally thinking of Lanka, his mission. Because of once you have to leap, you have to press hard on the ground, isn't it, for leaping? That is what he did. he pressed hard on the Mahendra mountain, and that pressure was so great that rishis who were in the caves felt afraid and they started to leave. A lot of birds who were in their nests started finding it difficult, and so on. Now comes Sundarakanda with this departures of Hanuman from Mahendra Parvata. So this we will continue in our next lecture. It was scheduled that this lecture will conclude today, but as I mentioned earlier, we may have to continue for another maybe 3-4 lectures. But next week, 2 lectures are a certainty. We will go into Sundarakanda. Sundarakanda is the kandam where you find lot of references to Dharma. Maximum references to Dharma. After Ayodhya Kandam, you will find in Sundarakanda. Very interesting. So please do come and participate in this satsang next Saturday and Sunday at the same time. And most likely it will extend in the week after that also, which we will keep announcing in due course. Are there any questions, Vivek?
Thank you so much. Actually, just in the week, or observation, in the week is also Hanuman Jayanti, so Sundarakanda correct.
Correct. Yeah, it's a coincidence. Yeah, that's right. Great.
Thank you, Mama. And we request you to offer our Tashtanga Namaskarams at the Brindavanams and at the Charanaravindam of Sri Periva.
Sure. Yeah. For sure, 100%.
Namaskaram, Mama. Wonderful, Mama.
Hara Hara Mahadeva. Sarvatra Govinda Nama Sankirtanam. Govinda Govinda. Janaki Kanta Smaranam. Jai Jai Rama Rama. Sri Jagadambikaye. Jai Jaya.
Thank you, Mama.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Thank you.